Hello there, it's your friend Phil, Project Management Training Coach. We got a question in from one of our students, Ahmed. Ahmed is asking for a deeper explanation regarding the requirements traceability matrix. The requirements traceability matrix is talked about in chapter 5 under collect requirements. And you know, requirements can be gathered in a number of ways. We can collect requirements in text form. We can create documents that have lots of information about requirements but are not broken out by the requester. Now, the requirements traceability matrix, such as the one you see on the screen, is an example from a colleague of mine who put this together for a backpack project. You can see that we've got requirements here, but those requirements have further information about them. Prioritization, the category, most importantly, the source of the requirement. In other words, who asked for that requirement? You see, the source, who asked for the requirement. That is a very important piece of the requirements traceability matrix. And you could also map the requirement to a WBS code of accounts, if you will. You can see this has been mapped to code of account 4.1. This has been mapped to code of account 1.4, things like that. You can also map the requirement to who will verify internally that this is good to go to the customer, or who does the final quality control check, if you will. You also have validation, the final stamp of approval, the formal approval. Where this is external, you're likely to see names of customer. For internal, you're likely to see names of the champion or the owner or the person who asked for that particular requirement. See? So if I were you, I would take a look at the example in the PMBOK guide. I would try to marry this to some projects you've done in the past. I used this on a project at Honeywell back in the day. That was my first encounter using it, but I found it very helpful to track over 120 requirements to my different requesters. I had like 7 different business unit leaders who were asking for certain requirements to be inherent in the implementation. How did I keep my sanity? By using a requirements traceability matrix and tracking each requirement to each requester. And at the end of the project, when the implementation was done and we were going into the go live mode, we needed to make sure that each of those requesters had indeed signed off on their specific requirements for that system. And that's how it's used. You know, it's nothing more than that. It's a document that tracks requirements to their origin or requirements to their requester. All right, I hope that helps you, Ahmed, and all the best as you continue studying.